G'day subscribers, today we're going to talk about the sales brochure for Nasco accessories when you went in to buy your FJ Holden. You're with Jules Knight on Jive Talking Garage. So for our Jive Talking members, they would know I love Nasco accessories. And I bought one of these books in 1983 for $100, September 83. And I was quite surprised because in the Holden brochure book, there was this little pamphlet. And it was the sales brochure for your Nasco accessories. Now, we'll talk about it in a moment. I just wanted to give you a quick look at what it looks like. But there is a myriad of things. And for instance, a lot of this information also appears not only on here, but also in the Master Parts catalogue as well, where they've picked up the same illustrations and reused them for ease of selling and identification and so on, so that the staff at the sales counter knew exactly what you're talking about. But for instance, what you're seeing first here is the front of the FJ. And then secondly, accessories for the dashboard. And then the interior of the car, looking at these fantastic seat covers that are on there. And then after that, here we're looking at the back of the car. So, if you can imagine, you've come in and I'm the salesman, and we're in the sales room on the showroom floor, and there's an FJ there, and it could be a standard 215 or a business sedan, a 217, or the more luxurious a 225 special, or a ute or a van. It was very important for them to not only make a sale for the type of car and the level of luxury that you wanted to buy or that fitted your budget, but to actually upsell Nasco, National Automotive Service Company, the genuine accessories from General Motors Holden. So if we just take a very quick look at it, a lot of the things here are really, really practical, and why I like them in my car. A sunshade. Well, that's really good to stop the sun, belting into you. The venties that are on there, they are great because they get the breeze off your face when that quarter window is open, and they actually direct the breeze through a scoop mechanism that's on there down to your feet. Mirrors either side. Great safety issue. Window locks, comeback mirror, bonnet mascot, adding that little bit of luxury. Wheel trims, mud flaps, so you can see how you're dressing up a car. The sun visors, so it looks, terrific. You've got trim rings that are on there, a rack for the dashboard, a cigarette lighter if it's not a special. If you paid the extra money that you could get it, a radio that was worth about 10% of the car, which is amazing when you think about it. If you didn't have a special, you could buy the special type of dashboard which matched the speaker grill, and also the valance that went underneath the special glove box as well, and the cigarette light. So, there is lots and lots you can actually do to customize, your car. And the same here, cool ride cushions, armrests, the lock for the steering, pull two door handles, your window locks, and you've got the seat covers front and back. You've got a pad for your cool ride cushion in the back as well as the one in the front, and then from the business sedan you've got these steel kick panels on the front seat at the bottom and the back seat at the bottom, as well as the riser. So there's lots and lots of practical things that are there, as well as your Venetian blinds. You can pick that up from your external as well. And here, you can see for the back, the sun visor, the Venetian blinds, as I just mentioned, the 15-inch wheel trims, the fins that were standard on a special, but not on a 215 or a 217. And you had these little reflector markers as well, together with also you take the reflector out of here and you could put in a dual lamp package, and then the reflectors could go within 16 inches of the extremity of the car. You've got that sort of accessories available to you. There was also a fill guard, a bezel, which went around the fuel filler cap, and also I love this accessory. This is absolute cracker. The exhaust deflector, otherwise it's called a droop. And my friend Susan Webster would know that she wanted a droop one day, and we actually, this was 1982. We had to buy 5 cars to actually get her a car that had the exhaust droop on it. So, they're a very rare little accessory to get a genuine one. You can get some repos now that's made out of thin stainless, but, they are what they are. And the salesman would be using, the accelerator magazine, or you would see these little suggestive signs that are on the desk or the counter or whatever, or, it's wheel trims. So this may be up against the wheel of the car, just highlighting the fact that it's not a standard thing. It's actually an extra for the customer. And although in this one you can see the Air Chief radio, and then I'll also show you, what you were looking for before. So it's remarkably similar, but they've made it red to make it pop and jump out. The very same that's on that pamphlet. The exact same material, just a different layout and a different media that they're using. But there's also more and more accessories that they're putting in there, and tools that they can actually have and use in the dealership. Universal accessories that are there. There's our friend Mark in Perth would love to be able to see that. Here's your thermometer. And I've also got one of those from our mate Dale in Canberra. And here's your battery filler. So lots and lots of things. Everyone needed a broom for their FJ. I mean, I've got one. Thank you, Presley. But for instance, you've seen the picture on the brochure for a seat cover. Well, here it is on here, and that's not the one and only. There was quite a few of the different patterns and fabrics. I've had 2. One was a PVC, which was very much like this that I had on my Nasco panel van, but I also had a white calico. It wasn't white. It was more of a cream, I would say, cream with a green and red tartan in it, and it just looked the goods. It was really, really nice. And I had that for my ute. So, you have these types of things that we used to upsell onto your Holden. So it wasn't just a matter of selling a car to customers who came in and wanted a vehicle, but also all of the other things that went with it. But, really, really interesting. Lots and lots of items to go on a car to personalize it, not necessarily customize it, but it was personalizing the car to whatever the needs of the customer were, so that it helped the customer be able to drive in a safe manner, but also it was really good for the salesman with commissions, and also the dealership with the selling of the product for extra profit, and also being paid for, in some cases, the fitting it and things like that. Now, for instance, I was reading with the sun visors. The sun visor wasn't fitted brand new in the factory. It was a dealership. It was a dealership accessory, and it was sent to them in undercoat. And the underneath of the sun visor was painted, and it was painted the satin green, but it was an undercoat. It was a tinted undercoat. So that was what the satin green is. And I thought, I never knew that until I read it in the actual Holden book. And then the dealer would actually have to paint the sun visor and then have their guys fitted onto the car so it could actually be delivered. So that's one instance where a personalized sun visor or a personalized accessory had to have work done to it at the dealership so that it was actually fitted to the Holden. But that's a little bit on the involvement of Nasco accessories at the point of sale for day 1 and day 2 of when you got your Holden and what the process was. But look, it's really interesting because there's more and more things you find out about Nasco accessories all the time. And there's even a lot of things that aren't in the books, but you'll find it in a leaflet or a newsletter or a monthly magazine or any of those things. And it's just another piece of the Nasco and FJ Holden General Motors puzzle. Hope you've enjoyed what we've had to say about Nasco accessories, but don't forget, share, like and subscribe, but more importantly, enjoy your Holden.